Every screen printing shop's production space is going to be different based on the actual space that you're in. Now, it's really important that you try to work in not a confined space and you allow it to reach its maximum capacity. When you're working on top of one another and your production flow isn't properly laid out, you're not going to work as efficient and you're going to drastically have a lot more mistakes compared to making sure everything is as organized and clutter-free as possible. Now, when it comes to organizing a screen printing shop, it's all going to start with locating the conveyor dryer. The reason being is the conveyor dryer might be actually bigger than your screen printing press. If not, it's going to be the second largest piece of equipment in the shop. But most importantly, because it requires the most amount of power, which could be either electrical or natural gas, we're going to need to locate this thing next to where the power source is coming in. So based on where we put the conveyor dryer, will then dictate where we put our screen printing press and then the finishing, folding and everything else that we're going to need to be doing. Again, you want to have your space be laid out in as a smart workflow as possible. So think about the production process and line the equipment up in that order. Realize that a lot of conveyor dryers, though, they might have an automatic or a manual that feed to it, or they might have two manuals or two autos on either side of it that feed into it. So again, there's many different ways. It's all going to come down to your shop space itself. Now, when you actually are making your production space as efficient as possible, keep in mind that humidity and temperatures and so forth are very important. We are working in a shop environment, but the cleaner and the more we can treat it like we're working in an office space that is just bigger, the better everything will work. When your employees are working in optimal conditions as far as temperatures and they're not working in 80, 90 degree heat like a lot of shops, they can be much more efficient and enjoy their job much more. When they're not worried about humidity, which can be, cause all types of problems based on a wide range of screen printing methods, you're going to, again, make your employees be working much harder than they have to. So organizing your production space efficiently is going to save you a lot of time and essentially money and labor. And not only that, your labor is going to be much happier. When it comes to organizing your production space, realize that the conveyor dryer is going to be in the main production area where we're also typically going to be folding and preparing any orders, and then again, maybe mixing all of our ink. Realize that you need to have your dark room to be completely separate from your production space. That must be controlled as far as light coming into the room. We do not want any UV light coming in to pre-expose our screens. And then right next to our dark room, we need a washout room where we can reclaim our screens and wash out any designs so that we can then get that artwork on press and ready to be printed. If you have any questions on how to organize your production space, please do not hesitate contacting us. Thank you.